You know that feeling where you're staring at a task you really need to get done? You've scheduled it, you've set aside the time, and yet you're sitting there scrolling your phone, doing everything else except the thing you're supposed to be doing. Does that sound familiar? Well, friend, I want to let you in on something today. That's not procrastination. That's your brain doing exactly what it was wired to do. I know, it's crazy to think about. But let's grab your cozy drink, wrap yourself up in your favorite soft blanket, and settle in wherever you feel the most comfortable. Because today, we're talking all about the ADHD task hierarchy, why your brain resists some tasks, how I've learned to hack it, and why this understanding can completely change the way you approach planning and productivity. Let's go. So here's the truth about ADHD and people with ADHD that we don't realize. Our brains don't prioritize tasks logically. We prioritize based on urgency and dopamine stimulation. And this is what I call the task hierarchy. Our brains are constantly asking, what's urgent? Or will something bad happen if I don't do this right now? And the other question it asks is, what's stimulating? Basically, does this task give me dopamine? If a task doesn't activate either of those categories, it drops it to the bottom of the list, no matter how important it logically is for you. I once had a huge project deadline looming, but instead of working on it, I spent 3 hours deep cleaning my kitchen pantry. Why? Because my brain was craving immediate visual dopamine. The pantry was a fast reward, while the project felt abstract, overwhelming, and just frankly boring. And here's the science behind this. ADHD brains struggle with dopamine regulation, especially around anticipating rewards. Tasks with delayed payoffs, or those that feel vague, don't trigger that let's go response in our brain reward center. And so we just don't do it. But let's talk about one of my favorite tools for climbing that task hierarchy, body doubling. Now, you've probably heard about this strategy before, working alongside another person to stay focused. But this isn't just about company. It's actually a nervous system regulation. Here's what happens. When we work near someone, whether they're working to or just really present, our brain shifts out of its isolated, overwhelmed state, and it's called co-regulation. Their presence signals to our nervous system that we're safe and we're not alone in this daunting task. And this reduces anxiety and often boosts our focus without requiring that external reward. So for me, I literally ask my husband to play video games near me while I work sometimes. It's not about his help, it's about his energy. My brain feels less alone and more focused when I'm doing a task that I really don't want to do. And don't worry, I have another hack, and this one works wonders for me. It's called BrainFM. Our ADHD brains often struggle to shift into the focused brainwave state, especially after stimulation or task switching. And BrainFM uses that gentle rhythmic pulses in music to get brainwaves into an optimal focus state, specifically the alpha and theta brainwaves associated with sustained attention. It's like training your brain to settle in without white-knuckling it through the resistance. So for me, I don't even need BrainFM for the entire task. Just playing it for the first 5 to 10 minutes usually gets me over the hardest part, which is just starting. But before you know it, when you listen to it long enough, it's created this hyper-focused state for you. So even something that felt really hard to do, now you want to keep doing it, and maybe other tasks that you've been procrastinating on for quite some time. If you're interested in trying BrainFM, I'm going to put a link in the show notes for you. And here's my last hack for this episode. It's a subtle but kind of crucial hack I wish I'd learned years ago. Before forcing yourself through a task, ask yourself, am I truly tired or am I overstimulated? ADHD nervous systems can confuse that mental overstimulation for exhaustion. And trying to push through when your brain is fried often backfires, leading to shutdown, disassociation, or that doom scrolling mode that we love to get into. So sometimes I will pause my work, lay down in a dark room for 10 minutes, and then let myself fully decompress before trying that task again. Shocking, it actually works. I don't need to force my way through something. I need to re-regulate. And this is what you're doing. You're regulating your nervous system. So it's actually checking in with your nervous system and going, am I fatigued? Or am I just overstimulated, need a reset, and I need a restart? So let's bring it all together. And here's the connection that most ADHD people miss. Every time we plan, we're asking our brain to predict future dopamine payoffs. And that's not how our brains work naturally. We don't need to do to-do lists. We need tools that account for energy levels, dopamine rewards, emotional regulation, and really our nervous system capacity. This is why I created my planning stack system, because most planners fail to account for this complexity. If this resonates, I'm currently inviting a few beta testers into my Planning Stack beta group. This is where you'll get early access to my ADHD-friendly planning course and the chance to shape it with your feedback. If you're curious, you can join the waitlist, and there's a link in the show notes if you're interested. But before you go, I have a challenge for you. I want you to think of one task you've been resisting, and I want you to ask yourself, is this task lacking urgency or dopamine? And could I try one of these hacks, body doubling, brainwave music, or a quick nervous system reset? Experiment, but without pressure. You're not broken. You're simply learning to work with your brain, not against it. You made it to the end of the episode, but I want you to stick around for some upcoming episodes because I'll soon be sharing insider details from my ADHD research study, including my findings on ADHD, social disconnection, and loneliness in women. If you've ever felt misunderstood by planners or productivity systems, you are exactly who I'm building these resources for. As always, thank you for being here. And remember, your brain is not the enemy. You're just learning new tools for it.